Huge news came out today. Star Wars. We have been reporting this, folks. Star Wars has restored the original film, the 1977 classic Star Wars. Some people call it A New Hope. We're still Star Wars people. It's coming back to the theaters. It is done. Lucasfilm has basically thrown out the press release saying, here it comes, get ready. We're going to look and see what they said, and we got some major questions and some more news about it. Here we go. If you head over to StarWars.com, you're going to see this right off the bat. Star Wars returns to theaters for 50th anniversary update. They've already posted that. We have covered it. There's a lot of fans that are interested in this news. And the question was, is Star Wars coming back to the theater? Well, we knew that. Was it going to be the special edition or the originals? That was the question. And now we have that question answered. Let's look and see exactly what Lucasfilm had to say. On February 19th, 2027, we'll celebrate the 50th anniversary of Star Wars with a re-release of the 1977 original back for a limited time in theaters everywhere. Not a limited release, in theaters everywhere. This is something big. Part of Lucasfilm's year-long 50th anniversary celebration, a newly restored version of the classic Star Wars 1977 theatrical release, later renamed Star Wars A New Hope, will play in theaters for a limited time. Switch on your targeting computer and keep your eyes on StarWars.com for more details, including when and where to buy tickets to this once-in-a-lifetime or once-in-a-generation event, rather. Now, Nick, this is big news. You and I are in a generation that came right after the original film.
Yeah.
We were born in 79. I have never been able to see the original Star Wars in the movie theater. I got to see the special edition in 97.
Yep, same.
So for me, that's what makes this special. There's going to be some people that are going to have some problems with this for various reasons, and we're going to get into that too. But what will this restoration include? What I think that we're going to see here, I think it's actually pretty evident. What I think we're going to see here is this. This is what we're going to see. This awesome CBS cover VHS of the original Star Wars film. This is what we're going to get, but it's going to be cleaned up. It's going to be like watching the despecialized edition in the theater. It's going to be looking at the original scenes. Han is the only one that shot. Greedo never fired. Jabba the Hutt will not be in this. All the little funny, gimmicky stuff like with the Jawa and the Ronto, not going to be in it at all. You're going to get the classic scenes on the Death Star attack. You know, and I actually liked some of the scenes in the special edition with the Death Star attack, but I still prefer the originals.
Same.
So anyways, I think that is exactly what we're going to get. Just a really cleaned up, sharp looking original scenes, just like the despecialized edition. So I think that in and of itself is a win. Do you agree that that's probably what this is going to be?
I mean, for the fans that have been wanting this in the theater and them restoring it and re-releasing it, yeah, it's a win for them. But a lot of fans already have the original cut because fans have already done this. True. You know, with the Star Wars 4K releases.
We own them.
Yep. What's the despecialized? The Harmony. Despecialized Harmony ones. Yeah. So, but for them to put this back in theaters, the original cut, and to actually see it on the big screen, I think it's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to go see it. But I actually got a hookup, so I don't have to give Disney any money to go see it.
So when it comes to, and we're going to get into that too, there's definitely going to be people that are hung up on this saying, if you go, you're supporting Disney. Well, yeah, Disney is the one that's making the decision to put it back in the theater. They're also the ones that made the decision to get this done. So yes, you are 50% of your movie ticket is going to Disney. and the other 50% is going to the movie house.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I'm not buying a movie ticket for this thinking about the studio. I'm buying this to go watch and support George Lucas Star Wars, something that I absolutely love. There's going to be some Star Wars movies come out, Nick, that Disney makes, and we're not going to go watch them.
No,
but
definitely
but
not.
this to me is an easy win. I have no problem buying a ticket for this and letting Disney know this is the Star Wars that we'll pay for. This is the Star Wars that we'll positively review. This is the Star Wars that we will support. How do you think that this re-release of the originals, how do you think that this impacts the special editions and future Disney releases?
I mean, it's not, I don't think it's going to have any effect on the special editions. They're still out there. It'll be the version that will still be played on TV, on TBS and TNT and all the other channels that show it every year.
Right.
Disney Plus will still have it on there. I'll be surprised if this version goes to Disney Plus. But I mean, I could see him putting it on there. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna have any effect on the special. That'll be the main version of the film that will always be around. Unfortunately, I will say this: if George was still in charge of Lucasfilm, I bet we wouldn't be getting this right now.
Yeah. So Nick said that he didn't think that the movie was going to be hitting the Disney Plus streaming platform. I am going to disagree there. I think it totally makes sense. One, for Disney to make this available to purchase, and two, if this could get people to subscribe to Disney Plus, which very few people are these days, I think it stands to reason if they're going to release this in the movie theater, then both of those things are going to happen. They might not happen, but I think that's dumb business on Disney's part. You're actually going to put something out there that the fans will be excited for. Now, don't release it on Disney Plus right away. Let's go watch it on the big screen as Star Wars was intended to be seen. And I think that's a big win for the fan base. Do you think that Lucasfilm may finally be listening to the fans, because fans have been demanding the original theatrical cuts of the movies to be restored and re-released for years, going back to before the sale even happened? Fans were upset that George Lucas was against. And let's not forget, George Lucas finished about 60% of the restoration, and then he said, forget it. I'm not doing it. The special edition is Star Wars. Yeah. Well, George doesn't own Star Wars anymore. I'm a George Lucas purist, as many of you are. We're George Lucas Star Wars fans. But I have to disagree with George on this one. I'm glad that this is happening.
Yeah, no, it's I'm glad it's happening as well. It's about time they restored the original cut of this film and people have a chance to see the film as it originally came out. Because a lot of people in this generation, a lot of kids growing up, all they know is the special edition.
Yes,
that's all they know. No,
they've never even seen Sebastian Shaw at the end of Return of the Jedi.
No, there's people that have not ever seen that. Like a lot of these YouTube channels out there that do first time reactions,
hilarious,
that watch Star Wars for the first time. It's always the special edition, always. And then they see Hayden Christensen at the end, and they're like, "Who's that?"
Right.
They're clueless. Originally, if we would have seen Hayden Christensen, that we would have been like, huh?
Yes. It would have made no sense.
Yeah.
Who's
this young guy?
Right.
He looks like the same age as Luke.
Yeah.
Who's this guy? What's he doing here? George Lucas is, with the greatness behind him, he's not without criticism.
No, for sure.
He made some very dumb decisions with these special editions, in my opinion.
Well, speaking
in the prequels.
Speaking of George Lucas, some things that he publicly said, even as recently in 2024, He said that he hopes the theatrical versions of the original trilogy will never be restored or re-released. He made that statement 2 years ago at the Cannes Film Festival. He compared his approach to film revision to how great an artist like Michelangelo is at redoing things and adding to their masterpiece. And he said that the special edition is his preferred final version, his masterpiece. He said in a 2004 interview, it bluntly, that the original theatrical version doesn't really exist anymore, was his exact words. Doesn't really exist anymore. I'm sorry you saw half a completed film and fell in love with it, but I want it to be the way I want it to be. That's what he said in 2004. Here's the thing. And a lot of fans are going to be just assuming here and getting things totally wrong. George Lucas got $4.3 billion, and he has no say in what is done with those films at this point.
Yeah.
You don't get $4.3 billion and still get any decision making.
Yeah.
If he gets asked a question by Disney, it's out of respect. And based on the past several years, I'm not sure how much Disney respects George Lucas and his legacy based on what they've done with Star Wars. But that's a whole nother video.
Yeah.
I don't think personally that George Lucas cares anymore. He just recently said, I have moved on from Star Wars. I've moved on. It's over. I don't think he cares. The original versions have been restored and they're coming out. I don't think George Lucas is going to be sitting in his closet crying at home because of it. I don't think he cares. As a matter of fact, he might see it differently these days. He might be like, wow, they're actually honoring what I made 50 years ago. And this was the first blockbuster. This was the greatest movie franchise in cinematic history. That's what this is about. George Lucas might have a completely different take at this point. What do you think?
I think he doesn't give a flying flip about anything that they do now. Anybody, if you have heard interviews and people talking about the kind of person George Lucas is, when he's done with somebody or something, he's done. He cuts them out like cancer, and like completely blocks them out of his mind, out of his life. Marshall Lucas even said, when they are at same events together, he won't even speak to her or even acknowledge that she's even there, basically. So yeah, I think he is done and over it. I think he was probably pissed off for a while there when The Force Awakens was getting made and was coming out. But at this point, I think enough time has passed. He doesn't care. In his opinion, the original release of the film is not the definitive version. His version, it's the special edition, and has said so in comments that you just read there. But for the fans of the originals, I'm fine if people want to watch the special editions or that they exist, whatever. But these original theatrical release cuts should also exist, and fans should have the ability to own those versions as well. And that's why fans have come out and made the either special editions with the Adiwan stuff, which was a fan-made special edition, or the 4K 77 and 80 and 83 versions of the trilogy. So
well, I agree with you. We should get a choice on which one we watch at this point, like we used to have, beyond just VHS. So thank you to the fans. Props to you. I love my despecialized. I will always have them. Maybe we'll get a better version of the original trilogy than that. We'll see. But I, for one, am happy. I think this is a great day to be a Star Wars fan. We don't get these very often. This is a win for a original OG Star Wars fan. That's how I feel about this. This is a huge win. And this is worthy of being celebrated. We don't get that hardly at all these days with Star Wars. So, I used to think about Star Wars at some point about every day. And now I go several days without it even crossing my mind.
Yeah.
So So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching us. Let us know in the comments what you think. Is this a win? Are you going to go check it out in the movie theater? And maybe we can get a couple of our friends to go with us to watch this, Nick. We'll definitely go watch this on opening night. Probably more than one time, I would assume, if it's as good as we hope that it is. All that being said, as we always say, we are your Echo Base Network. May the force be with you, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.